In this tutorial, we will expand on the use of the Spring JDBC DAO support class for accessing and manipulating data in a database. We will now actually implement and extend our relational object graph between charity, category, and charity programs. And we will also keep our Spring service layer and our Spring transactions. Essentially, we will be redoing our previous tutorial and extend the JDBC DAO support class, which provides us with access to the Spring JDBC template, and the Spring JDBC template in turn provides us with database access and connection management that will reduce the overhead of what is known as boilerplate code. For my YouTube students, this slideshow is part of a YouTube playlist. The playlist URL will be listed in the description and comments of this lesson. All source code for this playlist will be available for free in a GitHub repository. These are the high-level steps we will perform in this lesson. The first two we now know well. First, we create a new Maven module with IntelliJ, and we update our Maven POM, and we bring over our beans.xml Spring configuration file that includes our beans definitions for our DataSource and DAO implementation. Then we implement the DAO interface using JdbcDaoSupport. And then finally, we'll create a main method to test our JdbcDaoSupport implementation. So let's take a look at our Markdown document. And at this stage, step 1, we create our new Maven module and we assign it a name. We create our new package and we update our generated POM file with all the required dependencies, and we will use our previous tutorial as guide. Let's create our new Maven module. And we will bring over the dependencies and their property values from our previous tutorial. Load Maven changes. And we'll create our new package. And now back to our Markdown document. And we see step 4 is we create our charity model objects and its related model objects, category and program. Here we will introduce a one-to-one mapping between charity and category, and we'll add a one-to-many mapping between charity and charity programs. And then we'll add our charity DAO interface and its implementation. We will use our Spring JDBC template that are provided for us by the JDBC DAO support class, and we will create a working create, read, update, and delete for our full charity model object graph. Back to IntelliJ, and here I will start pasting in again from my preparation work in order to save us some time. First, the model object. And if we look at our charity, we now have a single charity category, and we have a list of programs contained in our charity. And we have another constructor that allows us to pass in a single category and a list of charity programs. Our category only contains ID and name. Our program only contains the ID and name. Now let's paste in our bean.xml document. So we see we we'll use the transaction manager so that we can use transaction annotations in our service layer. We have the data source that specifies the MariaDB data source. And then we define our charity DAO and charity service. And we see it shows up in red because we have not created it yet, or in this case, pasted it in. So let's go back and do that. We've got our charity DAO, we've got the charity category support DAO, and the implementation. We can configure our application context now. And we see we're still missing the service layer, so let's paste that in. There is our charity service with create, read, update, and delete, and our charity service implementation using the transactional notation provided by Spring that will allow us to do update and insert within a transactional context as well as delete. And then finally, we have to paste in our main method. So let's go over our main method. We see we create the Spring context from the beans.xml file. We get the charity service bean. And in our demo step 1, we will create the charity. And if we look at our create charity, we see we create a new charity. We create a new category. We add the charity category. Then we create a list of new charity program types. And we add it to the charity. And we will return our new charity. And then we call our service layer to insert our newly created charity in the database, which in this case now will contain one category and a list of programs. And after that, we will find the charity by its tax ID from the database. Then we will update the category with a new category type, change the category by setting it. We will call the update on the service layer for our new category. We will check how many rows have been updated, and then we'll find our charity that we've just updated with the new category, and we'll print it out. And then we will repeat the process, but this time with an existing category in the database. Change the category, update the category, get the number of rows updated, find the charity by tax ID, and print it out. Then on to our second demonstration step, where we add a new list of charity programs to our existing charity. We call update again to update the list of programs. We print out our list of rows updated. Then we find the charity in the database once again and print it out. What we are testing in step 1 and 2 is first adding a new category, then updating category, and then updating the category again with an existing category. And then here in step 3, we add a new charity with a different category. We set the category, we add its programs, we create the charity and insert it into the database, and we find it and print it. Now, before we can do an end-to-end run of our main method, we of course have to go back to our database and make sure we've cleared out all our tables and set it up correctly. So let's go to the database. So let's clear out our category. We see we've got a foreign key constraint. So let's clear out charity category first. Our charity category table has been cleared out. Back to category. This time it looks good. Our category should now be cleared out. Looking at our charity table, let's clear out the charity table. Another foreign key constraint in the charity program relationship table. So let's clear that out. That should be cleared out now. Let's clear out our programs. Our program table should be cleared out. Cleared out program, charity program, charity category, charity. We still need to clear out our charity table. And this looks good. Our charity table has been cleared out. Our category table has been cleared out. Our charity category table has been cleared out. Our charity program table has been cleared out. And our program table has been cleared out. So let's go back and add some categories. We add some existing categories into the database. And now we want to maintain the foreign keys between charity category and category, as well as charity program and charity as well as program. So let's go back and add the foreign key relationships. We'll add these two foreign keys, updated, and we see them listed. And we can do the same for our charity program relationship table. We will add these two foreign keys back to the database. And we see that the foreign keys have been added. So now let's go to our main method and run our first demonstration. As we can see, this looks good. First we create a new charity, we insert it with its category, and basically everything ran successfully. Let's look at our database. We've added a new category. We've added two new charities. We've added the charity category relationships. We've added the charity program relationships. And we've added 8 new programs. So now let's step through it here. Create charity. Go to implementation. Charity DAO insert. Go to implementation. And we see we get a JDBC template. We have a SQL insert charity. We run update on the SQL insert charity. And we return the generated keys using the key holder. We update the charity with the ID that we've got back from the database. Then we run a charity category update and a charity programs update method where we pass in the charity and the number of charity rows inserted. So let's have a look at charity category update. If it has been successfully inserted, in other words, we now have a charity row, we first find the category by name in the category table. And if we did find it, category would not be null. So we'll set the category to the category ID. We'll first find the category ID in our charity category relationship row. And if it does not exist, we will insert it. And if it does exist, we will update it. So let's go back to our insert. The other one is charity programs update. As we can see, we find a list of programs and we iterate through the list and we'll find the program by the program name. And if we did not find it, we have to delete the relationships row. So first we have to find it. And if we did find the entry in the charity program relationship row, we have to update the existing charity program relationship row. And of course, if we did not find it, we have to insert a new program and also insert a new charity program relationship row. So now that we've digged in deeper on our main method and our demonstration steps of creating, updating, and reading an existing charity, we are ready to go on to the final demonstration steps, which is delete, and then we'll add another charity. Let's go ahead and comment out our first 3 steps. And that, of course, means we are leaving our database as is after running through our first 3 steps in the main method with the 2 charities. And we are going to delete this specific existing charity. So we will uncomment step 4 and step 5. Find a charity and then we delete it, and we'll output to our console whether it has been deleted. And then in step 5, for good measure, we go ahead and create and add another charity and make sure that we can find that in the database. So let's run our changed main method to demonstrate step 4 and 5. For good luck, we'll just run clean install first. That looks good. So let's run main. And we've found a charity, we've deleted it, and we've created a new charity and inserted it. So let's have a look at our new database structure. We can see that we have deleted this specific charity and we've inserted a new one. And now we have only charity ID 1 and 3. Let's look at category. We still have the 12 category. And if we look at our charity category relationship, we see we only have the 2 existing charity IDs. We no longer have ID number 2. And if we look at charity program, we see we have our 8 new programs. And if we look at our charity program relationships, we see we only have the charity ID 1 in our relationship row. And that looks like a good start for our demonstration of create, read, update, and delete, which includes 2 relationships, foreign key relationship tables, charity category, and charity program. It includes the transactional annotation, which allows us to roll back any database insert, update, or delete in case there is SQL errors. And then if we look at our charity DAO transaction, we see that we use the JDBC template and we pass in SQL in most of our statements, and the JDBC template in turn manages the opening and closing of connections and result sets for us. And this concludes this lesson. I will see you in the next tutorial.